What's up everyone, Shark Eyes here, back again with a review for you. And today, it's not a JoJo classified, it is something different. We're still sticking to the 112 scale, but it is the Damtoys Vietnam War Staff Sergeant. Now, if you're not familiar with these, neither was I until a few days ago, and I come across this and I can put it down to a Facebook marketplace random find. So I figured, yeah, it's the right scale. I like Vietnam War stuff, so why not give it a bash? So, without further ado,
saddle up, lock and load.
So we're back after that short little clip, and I'm sure if you watched that, you are familiar with what film it's from. But if not, it is Platoon, and the Oliver Stone film from I think 1986. And the reason that also inspired me to buy this is that the figure has quite a Tom Berenger, Sergeant Barnes inspired aesthetic to it. And it does have Staff Sergeant here. Obviously it doesn't have anything else pertaining to the film, but if you connect the dots, it's pretty easy to see that was where they were leaning when they decided to put this set together. And I should add, in this series there are other Vietnam figures that do resemble other actors from the film, such as Charlie Sheen and William Dafoe and so on. So let's have a look at the box here. You can't really get a great look at the figure because of the plastic and everything else sort of jammed in there. But yeah, the artwork here, which I already zoomed in on, give you a bit more of a closer look. Got the bandana on there and a whole bunch of other kit. And yeah, this series is known as the Pocket Series. And all the other figures, as I mentioned in this line, are 112. There's another little bit of a look there. You can even see that they've got the scar on there like Tom Berenger has in the film. And that scar in the film took, I think, around 3 hours a day for the prosthetic makeup team to apply to Tom Berenger's face. And by the end of production, he was pretty jack of that. And they sort of, I think, been able to whittle it down to a 30-minute process. But if he could get away with filming scenes where his face, that side of his face, was obscured by the camera, he would definitely have done it because, yeah, after a grueling shoot in the Philippine jungle, you can understand that having to deal with that in the humidity and the grueling nature that Oliver Stone would have put them through on that production would have been a royal pain in the beep. So, looking at the back, which I've been holding in my hand for the last 30 seconds, we'll start out with the, I'm just going to see if we can get that to zoom in there and have a bit of a better look, with the M16A1 carbine. Now, although that is accurate to the Vietnam conflict, the gun that Berenger has in the film is not that. And I'll touch on more of that in a minute once we get this open. You can see he comes with quite the loadout, which we'll go through shortly. And have a look at the figure, which we've seen. And some names down here, which I cannot make out right now. The print is quite small, and my eyesight's terrible. Some legalese and so on, and that's pretty much it. So let's crack it open and have a look at how this all goes. Now I've taken the liberty of removing these protective clamshells from these off camera simply because they were a little tricky, and I wanted to be very careful with them because I had a feeling that with these accessories not being secure and in place, that they would fling out if one wasn't careful. So just be mindful if you are buying one of these. Just take your time to remove this because they are extremely secure. All right, so we'll get rid of those for now. And we're going to start with the figure. Let's pop this over here. Now, as you can see, he comes with extra hands. I'm going to get all these out just bit by bit. So that is a pointed finger, not the middle finger. And that is one of your C grips. That's a closed fist. And that's the left-handed C grip. And the other one of those. And open palm gesture for telling someone to halt would be my best guess. Same goes with for the closed fist. You know, that can be used for one of these ones, signaling to pull up to the rest of the platoon. See what I mean? How these things just pop out. And get this plastic bit off here. Have a look at the figure. Now, this is cloth goods, as you can see. We'll get back to that in a minute. So we'll start with the face sculpt. He probably looks a little bit younger than Tom Berenger did in the film. But yeah, it's pretty close. Pretty damn close. Head swivel is pretty, not loose, but it has got quite a nice movement actually, the ball joint. You can see that you can look down, up, side to side. Quite good rotation in the swivel. I feel like that could loosen a lot over time, but side profile, look at it. The bandana isn't removable, I should add. That is just like stuck on there, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So yeah, cloth goods on a 1/12 scale figure. It's not something you see every day. Not something I see every day. It's pretty nice. It's you know, quite what's the word I'm looking for? It's loose fitting, but and the figure does feel quite slender. I don't know if it is a bit too baggy for the figure. Maybe it'll look a bit bulky, I guess, when maybe he's fully kitted out. But the detailing is nice. Like, look. Here you got the grenades on the webbing. Got the canteen over here. 2 canteens actually. Yeah, that is a bit loose. Not sure why. Something to ponder. In terms of range of movement, T-pose is pretty good. Wrist swivels are there. He can't go any higher than that. Legs, it's hard to tell with the pants on, but I know he's got range of movement there. Not stiff at all. Very easy to maneuver. That arm is a little touch stiff, but not too bad. And ankle rockers are there. They aren't great, but as you can see, there's a bit of a gap there, but it's not a position I guess you'd be having his feet in much. Forward wise, you can sit pretty good. Yep. Sweet. All right, let's chuck some. Oh, okay, so that's not good. His hands just come off. I was just moving him ever so slowly, but it's not broken, but it's a very small connection point. But see that there. But it is concealed somewhat once it's on. It's not great, but the wrist articulation's a bit exposed. I'm a massive fan of that. Now, I should add, these aren't new. These are, I think, I want to say they came out in 2019. So, obviously, toy technology has come a ways in those last few years. But yeah, it's not, that's probably my first issue with it, is that. Let's see how he stands while I'm unassisted. Not having much luck on that front. Okay, let's straighten his legs up a bit. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah. His legs have to be pretty straight, I think, to get a good pose. Maybe it's the boots that are giving him problems. Yeah, there you go. All right, sweet. All right, pop him to the side for a second. Have a look at some of the more accessories here. His helmet. That's actually really nice. And that too has like a cloth overlay on it, which is accurate to the Vietnam era helmets, which is cool. In the film, he did have a packet of Marlboro Reds, I believe, stuck under the strap here. And I didn't think they'd pack them with him, and they didn't. So that is one small attention to detail that they have missed. I'll pop that on him, see how it looks with the bandana. Yeah, fits pretty good. Yeah, I like it. Maybe it sits a bit higher, it looks a bit better. Nice. Now I did notice that this belt has come undone, and I should show you there's just a little clip here. It might be a bit hard to see in this light, but it just goes in there like so. And it should just go in there like so. Might be a bit finicky. Does not want to go in there. It's making a liar out of me. All right, I'll worry about that again in a minute. Let's have a look at this piece here. That's his ruck, which is also soft goods, which is nice. It's got like a padded feel to it. Now, I don't believe these open, but I could be wrong. They look too small for them to be actual functioning. No, they're not. Yeah, they've got like, you can see there's a stuffing in there. But yeah, very cool little piece. The straps here are pretty flimsy, so I'd say you'd want to be careful with those, because over time they are probably going to deteriorate. I'll pop that on him in a second. We bring back our other tray of stuff and we'll get a look into that in one moment. Okay, so before I do go into this, I just wanted to say that off camera I had a close look at the latch here, and it might be a bit hard to see. Let me see if I can focus on that. Oh, it's not picking it up. But basically, there's a tiny little hook that fastens into the other side of the belt, and it's really small. So you can see that it is fastened, but that thing is only hanging on by a bee's dick. So that is something to be mindful of. I don't know how well it'll stay fastened, but if you're posing that, obviously it's not going to worry you too much. So yeah, that is that. Now, as for the second tray, first off, just want to show you here that these are the extra little sockets for all the hands. I'm not going to open that up right now. There's no point. That's just what comes in that little bag. So I'll just pop that there. Now, first cab off the rank. I might as well look at this. This is the ammunition pouch, I believe. I'm not too sure. It could... That's a good question. It doesn't look like there's any slots for any ammunition, so it's not that. I do not know. Let's hold that thought and just have a look if there's anything on the box. Yeah, there's nothing about this. So I'm going to worry about this later. I have to do some research on that one. Apologies. Now this here has some backing in there, but what it contains are patches. It contains some patches that indicate his rank and his division, and they have an adhesive label on the other side so they can be stuck to the figure. Let's get into some more juicy stuff now. So, as you can see with all this gear, it is in this tray here, and some of it is quite difficult to get out. So a pair of tweezers is going to aid your cause here. So we're going to start with... Oh, hell no. Did that just break? Oh my god, that better not have just broken in the pack. Son of a... Hang on. I feel like I am about to be very disheartened. Fucking hell. It's broken. The gun's broken in the packet. That is very, very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. I don't believe those stocks are removable. Even though there is a hole, I don't see an attachment point, and I've just dropped them. It's all falling apart. Because you can see there, like, that looks snapped to me. Yep. That's snapped off in there. Son of a bitch. Yeah. And see the extra stock that comes with it, that's going to stay on there, but that is literally just hanging on by a thread. That is crap. Anyway, what I was going to say about this is that he is packed with the M16, and in the film, he actually didn't have an M16. It was the Colt 653P, I think, which was never actually used in Vietnam, but obviously the film armorers used what they had on hand, I'm guessing, when they were filming in the Philippines. And yeah, that's just garbage. So anyway, might as well show you a clip of what was in the film. Alright, so after watching that, now you know there's a bit of trivia for you. So let's move right along here. Hopefully nothing else breaks in the process. Got a little knife. That is actually that's the bayonet, I believe. I don't think that comes out of the sheath. I'm just going to be very gentle here. Nope, it does not. Actually, I tell a lie. That's the bayonet, as you can see there. That's his K-bar in here, which, yeah, isn't removable, which is also pretty poor. You know, when you're paying good money for this set, and let me tell you, these are not cheap now on the secondary market. Anyway, I'll pop that back in there. Next up, just flick that out so I can grab it. You have the M1911 A1. There's no removable clips for these. But yeah, the detailing, as you can see, is pretty nice. Handle has got like a nice textured feel to it as well. There's no blast effects with these either, so it is what it is. Now, in here, you've got the same gun, but it is, zoom in there, cocked back, which is cool. Again, it's got the texture here on the handle. You can see the slide. It's in that position. Now, funnily enough, even though these things have just gone pear-shaped in this container, there are clips for these, which I'm sure can be stowed somewhere. I just haven't figured that out. But yeah, they aren't functional, so I don't know what the point of that is, other than just aesthetics. Because again, you can see there, in the bottom of the gun, there's no... So yeah, magazines for days. Next up, if it wants to come out, holster, again with the sidearm, non-functional. It's permanently fixed into there. Again, no spot for a magazine. You know what? I tell a lie. That was the complete bayonet set, because this is the K-bar knife. So you've got the actual knife and the knife in the sheath. Apologies, that's my frustration probably lending to this review right now. And yeah, it is nice, but they could have probably saved some time and money and effort by just making this a functional holster with a knife pulling it out. Anyway, you make decisions and you live with them. Now, I'm not going to get all of these magazines out because right now I simply just cannot be bothered, and I kind of just want to get this review over with. So yeah, you've got a variety of these magazines here, but I will go through this other stuff here because this is actually somewhat interesting. You've got the magazines conjoined in the jungle style configuration, which of course was quite popular for the soldiers in the Vietnam conflict to do, made for quick reloading purposes. They are attached, you can't remove them. So grenades, you get 2 of those, and these are M18s, I believe. Smoke, purple smoke. It's a bit hard to get them into a position where you can see, but it is written on there. M18 smoke green and smoke violet, which is also indicated by the top of the canisters here, which is a nice touch. Obviously they were used for different purposes. I cannot remember off the top of my head what they indicate. Someone with military experience will be able to jump in the comments if they actually see this and let me know. And this is pretty cool. This is the Willie Pete phosphorus grenade, which Berenger does use in the film very briefly, and he asks someone to give him some Willie Pete. I think it's when he's in the village and he's blowing up a well or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. There's a very, very tiny pouch here. I'm not too sure of its purpose, but it does have a little attachment on there. Could go somewhere. Because yeah, again, there's no instructions with this figure at all. You're sort of flying blind. And I wasn't prepared to watch another review. I wanted to do my own. So yeah. And last but not least is this. And that is the Cold Steel Defender push dagger, which featured in the film in quite an iconic scene between Berenger and Charlie Sheen. You can also see it in the film throughout. It's attached to the top of his shirt here. And the fun fact about these is that these weren't used in Vietnam at all. And in fact, the company that produced them didn't exist until the 80s. So who knows how it ended up in the film, but I guess it was just something that looked cool and I felt like giving it some razzle dazzle, and here we are. So that is all and sundry that comes with this guy. I'm not going to expand any further on it and kit it all out because I could be here for another hour and we don't want that. But yeah, if you're still here somehow by now and watching this, please feel free to hit like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Back to this, because that is my main bone of contention. This just falling apart after it only being a set that's like 3 or 4 years old is just absurd, and it shouldn't happen for a brand new figure. And yeah, I'm a bit gutted about that. So my only real option here is to glue this, and because this is just not good enough. Not good enough at all. Because this part is basically rendered useless now. So overall, this figure obviously gets a lot of points for the attention to detail and the amount of accessories and the hands and whatnot that come with it. But with the broken rifle, obviously it's going to lose points for me there. But one other bone of contention I have with this is, and I am actually filming this later because I initially had filmed the ending of this video and given this a review, but I came back to kit it out and put like the backpack and all that sort of stuff on so I could take a photo of it for the thumbnail for the video. In doing so, I couldn't again fasten his belt. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then I realized that the little clip that I'd showed you previously in the video had fallen off somewhere in my room here. Now, these things are tiny, right? And I'm going to show you how small this is in the palm of my hand. Now, why would that piece, which is so crucial to the assembly of the webbing, just fall off willy-nilly? Why wouldn't there be a stopper in place to prevent that? Pathetic. I was on my hands and knees, like having to crawl around looking for this piece. Unreal. So, personally, I think this is a waste of money. I wouldn't recommend purchasing it or any from this series as a result. Maybe if you like things that are defective, then it's for you. And personally, it's just a disappointment overall, and I highly don't recommend it. So, in terms of a score, this is getting a 1 out of 5. For the price of these figures, especially the secondary market price now, you should expect far better and superior quality. So that's it, guys. If you stuck around this long, thank you, and tolerated my my frustration. Thank you again. And if you did enjoy what you saw, then please throw the video a like, share it if you know anyone who might be interested in collectibles that focus on the Vietnam era, and you might want to show that to them to steer them away from purchasing such a figure. And any new subscribers that are finding this video for the first time, I assure you that a lot of the other figures that I've purchased, I've again been honest in my appraisal of them, and you get, that's what you're going to get from me. There's no beating around the bush. So thanks again for watching, and Have yourself an awesome day.
I am reality.